Ladies and gentlemen, we are back again, and we are here with a special little side quest, a little side episode for you guys. Today is going to be our little Oscar episode. I'm Tristan here, as per usual. I'm joined by Dino. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's Oscar season, and we'll talk about our picks for the Oscars, which, if you're listening to this as it comes out, it'll be like a couple hours before. Hopefully,
Yeah.
if I get it out, my internet is like really slow, but I'll try. I'll do it best to pump it out before it starts, but you can even listen to it afterwards. But if you're in the future, you already know the winners. But yeah, we're gonna talk about ours,
And
and maybe we'll
honestly,
be right about
and
a couple.
honestly, it's funny because we are two people who don't really value the prestige of the Oscars like at
Mhm.
all. So even if you're coming from the future, this is what should have won. All right, like what we say is what should have won.
Yeah.
Um, well, I guess I'm curious as we go through because we're going to go through with the ballot just very briefly. We're not going to spend too much time on it, but when you go through the ballot, are you going to be picking things that you genuinely want, or are you going to kind of be trying to predict like what I think or what you think will win per the
Good
Oscars eyes? Because
question.
those are two very different things.
Yeah, and that's sort of my gripe with the Oscars and like this whole time period because every year, because I don't usually watch the Oscars. I think I watch them like twice, and I'll watch them
Yeah,
tonight
yeah.
because my girlfriend wants to see them, and I'm curious because this is the first time where I've seen all the Best Picture nominees. I've never
Oh, sick.
seen all of them before. But that's sort of my gripe with it because every year it's the same thing because I don't mind awards. I think it's a good thing to award movies with different things, but there's always such an outrage because of that, because people are like, "This should have won. Fuck the
Yeah,
Oscars, this should have won." And I'm like, "Yeah, this should have won for you." And it's always like I'm always so frustrated because I get it because there are things that I want to win, but then it's like, do they really matter? Because people get like really worked up and mad, like this should have won, this is rigged and things
yeah,
like that. And I'm like, who cares? Like this, it's still one for you. It's still your favorite film. It's still your like pick for this category, and I think that's the important thing, I guess. But I get the
definitely.
frustration, which will be, I think, this year as well. But what about you? Like, are you going like through your predictions or your
I
favorite ones?
think I think what I marked because I'm gonna find a way in these hours before it starts. I'm gonna find a way to bet money on it. I don't care what means I got to find. I'm going to find a way to bet money on it
Do they do that?
because
Is it
they
possible?
do. Oh yeah,
Okay.
it's possible. Oh, you can bet. You can bet on who wins the election in the debates. You can bet who wins the debate or like how long they talk for. You can bet on anything these days here.
Mhm.
It may
Damn.
not all be legally sanctioned, but you can find it.
Of
Not that I would be engaging in anything other than legally
course
sanctioned,
not.
but
Of course not.
I think when I went through, I was kind of picking like what I think will win, but I think I
Mhm.
kind of want to make note on each one as well, and we can both do it
Yeah.
of what I actually want to win and then what I think because the Oscars is very calculated. It's become very formulaic. I think since 2019, in terms of the overall general predictions I've made, I would venture to say I'm probably like 80 to 85% correct. Because it becomes it's not even the stuff I want to win. Like there's
Mm.
some like 2019 was very much like I'm so glad Parasite just fucking or I guess 2020 just tore through this. Like I'm glad Parasite won everything and it's what I wanted.
Mhm.
But then like other years where I was like, I don't even know what the fuck Nomadland is, but it was obvious to me that that was probably going to win. You know what I mean? Um,
Definitely.
so it's become a little formulaic, and I would say last year, everything, everywhere, all at once, kind of shocked me with how many. But I knew for certain. I wish there was a way for me to throw $1,000 on it. That fucking data from Goonies, I forget his name,
Mhm.
Kiwei Kwan. I knew for certain he was gonna win. Now, do I think he was actually the best supporting actor? Hell fucking no. No way. But I knew for certain. I knew for certain he was gonna win. I knew it. As soon as
That's
Harrison Ford got on stage, Harrison Ford was the one handing out. I'm like, bro, this is a
yeah.
lock. I'm like, this is a lock.
You could see like in the last couple of years, especially like last year, because there's been so much, like I said, outrage each and every year. I think they're sort of playing it safe, and it's sort of becoming a popularity contest in a way.
Oh
because they
yeah.
know so many people are going to be mad if this doesn't win or this guy wins. And I get it, but it's like it takes a little bit of the surprise out of it because with some things, like you said, you just know this person is going to win just because of it just makes like such a good story, I guess. And it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
it's so magical that he won and things like that. But it's still fun, I think.
It's still fun for sure, and I love the antic and I can't lie, I like seeing all these people gathered in a room together and just being
Mm.
normal humans. Like, I enjoy it. I enjoy watching the Oscars. Who's hosting? I don't even know who's hosting it. Is it Jimmy Kimmel again? I don't
I
even
think
know.
I'm not
We
sure.
should probably know this. We are the best prepared podcast on the
We should.
internet,
We're
folks.
making an episode on it, but like we said, we're both not the biggest Oscar fans, so yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel again. I'm pretty sure he hosted it last year, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Yeah, last year. That's damn. Not
He's
using the creativity I would have hoped.
ABC's like guy. They want him for stuff,
They love
so
that man, and it's
yeah.
because they can cross promote everything with him. Now, here's a
True.
question: who would
Mhm.
you love to see? It can be a comedian, it could be a television person, it could be whatever. Who would you like to see host the Oscars? You're like, I think they would do a good job of hosting the show.
Well, I would either pick someone like Spielberg, who just loves movies in
Yeah.
general, and he would bring like so much joy to it, or and I think that would be a funny one if they picked someone like Harrison Ford, who just hates everyone. That could be
Yeah.
funny. Like, oh, Star Wars is nominated, that piece of shit. Like things like that, you know?
Yeah.
It would also be funny in a way, but yeah, I think Spielberg, if I'm being like serious, I think Spielberg would be I don't know if he would ever
That would
do
be
it,
cool.
just the joy he brings, but do you have someone in mind?
100%. I would personally, are you familiar with John Mulaney and his comedy?
Hell yes. That's a
I
good one.
cannot I can't believe John Mulaney has not. Oh, does he not star or voice in one of your all-time favorite films?
Yeah, Chippendale Rescue
Is
Rangers.
It's him and who is he in it with?
He is with what's his name?
It's not the
Um,
other dude from SNL, is it?
it's give me 1 second.
Oh fuck, hold on.
I
Hold
know
on.
his
When you
name.
find it, don't say it. Don't say it
It,
yet when you find it. Let me try to think in these
okay.
last few seconds.
Yep,
It's not Andy Samberg, is it?
it is. Yeah.
It is? Okay. Yeah,
Mm.
that's
You
fucking
put me on
sick.
the spot here, so I didn't remember, but yeah, it's those two.
I think he would be amazing because he's so likable. Everyone
Mhm.
loves him. He's not a corny comic either. Like Jimmy Kimmel, it's easy for him to pander. It's his boss employing him tonight. Fucking ABC.
Yep.
He has to be good. You know what I like? It's and I always thought Ricky Gervais did a good job too whenever he was hosting stuff. You know who would be really good? Steve Carell. Steve Carell would do a good job hosting. I don't know that he
Yeah,
would now that he's, actor guy,
mhm.
but I could see him doing a pretty good job of hosting.
Definitely. Those are good picks.
Oh, another one, Jake Johnson.
Dude,
He
now
would
you speak
kill.
my language. Hell yeah. I
Yeah,
love
Jake
Jake
Johnson
Johnson.
would fucking snap.
Dude.
I've seen him. We'll get
Mhm,
into it in a bit, but I've seen a lot of him recently in some stuff I've been watching.
mhm.
Um, but I think he would kill, dude.
Hell yeah. But then again, they want to play it safe, so they're not gonna pick someone like that. They're gonna pick
Yeah.
their guy and he's gonna do it everything like planned, and there's not gonna be any like things that could spiral out of control. It's all gonna be controlled. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Even though they were loving the Chris Rock thing, they were counting their lucky stars that shit
Damn.
happened.
There's still like people are still talking about that moment.
Oh
Which I'm
yeah,
like,
dude.
it's yeah, that was something else.
Hell yeah. Well, before we get into the Oscar ballots, I know off the air you were teasing some news you might have
Mhm.
involving a Oscar nominated film. I'm unaware of what you were mentioning, but you want to clarify for the listeners
Yeah, you haven't heard about
what you were plotting on?
I I only read about it yesterday. I don't know if it came out yesterday, I think officially, but it was filed I think in January. And that is Simon Stevenson, who wrote films like Paddington 2, accused the holdover, so I guess I should say Alexander Payne, for plagiarism. with the
Plagiarism,
whole
yeah.
plagiarism because he wrote a script called Frisco in I don't know what year, I think 2012 or something. And apparently it's almost beat to beat like the holdovers. So
Really?
it involves like an old cranky doctor who has to spend like the summer, I think, with his patient. And there are
Interesting.
a lot of story beats that are pretty much the same. It's a little bit out of order. But yeah,
Was this
it's
script like on the Hollywood blacklist or something, or like was it
it
out
was.
there floating around? It was?
It
Okay.
was on the blacklist, yep.
Okay.
And got a lot of buzz back then. And he also has evidence that Alexander Payne read it, which makes it,
Whoa.
yeah, makes it,
Whoa.
yeah. It's weird that it like officially came out yesterday.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
funny
definitely,
timing.
I think, some studio like trying maybe to sabotage something, or
100%.
I'm not saying it's
Who put out the holdovers?
not sure.
Um, because that's fucking interesting. Hold on.
Mhm.
Focus Features, Miramax. Focus Feature? I thought they had like a big studio. That's NBC. That's Universal. Focus Feature. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, dude, I mean, I don't know. I don't what year was this script like on the blacklist or was going around?
It was, let me check the article, pull it up. Mm, 2013.
2013.
Mhm.
Damn, yeah, okay, I see it right here. Lodged a complaint with the Writers Guild of America.
Number 3
Briscoe.
on the blacklist in 2013.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's the fact that he mentions that also dialogue is similar. I can
Yeah.
understand if you're seeing like because ideas just inspire one another from one thing, and they're all in a constant, no pun intended, dialogue with one another. Each film that's
Mhm.
made, but to actually take dialogue, that's fucking crazy. If that's true, I have no idea. Alexander, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't really have any kind of connection to Alexander Payne to even sit here and try to defend. But also, I have no connection to this fucking Steven Stevenson fella,
Yep.
or Simon Stevenson, whatever the fuck his name is, to defend him either. So I
Nope.
hope I hope everyone wins out of this situation. But that's crazy.
I hope it gets resolved. And like I said, he went to the the Writers Guild and in January, so it's not like his timing isn't weird. It's just weird that it like officially broke
Yeah.
yesterday.
Now.
That's just a bit weird. And there's another instance of something that I'm just going to talk about, like the second news, which is a little bit more fun, but also kind of sad.
Wait. Who is this guy? This Simon guy? You said he's done Paddington, or what has he
He
done?
wrote Paddington 2, and what else did he write? Simon Stevenson.
I don't see his name anywhere. There's a guy from Paddington 2 named Simon Farnaby.
Um,
He might have gotten like a story credit, maybe or something.
I'm really not sure. It just says in the article Simon Stevenson and then Paddington 2.
Yeah, I
Writer.
don't.
Hmm,
I've worked as a writer. Oh, on Paddington 2. I think he got some. What this seems like is this. I have no. He is not the proper credited writer on Paddington 2.
okay.
Not to fact check you, but to fact check the article or
Yeah.
whatever.
He wrote
He has
Luca.
done per his website, he has done some writing work on those, but he is not the credited writer
Um,
on either of those films. Um,
Interesting.
and it looks like he's a novel writer. To be honest with you, I don't know if this dude's maybe I don't know how to say it, maybe clout chasing a little bit, or is trying to get his name out there a little bit more, which I can't blame, but yeah, I don't quite know who he is, but regardless, your shit shouldn't be stolen if that's the case. But also,
Yeah.
I don't know what this
Interesting.
article's saying because this guy doesn't have formal credits on either of those films.
I thought he was like the one of the main writers, but I guess not. So the
There's a
article just
different guy named Simon for Paddington 2 called Simon
Mhm.
Farnaby,
Okay.
um, who is the actual proper like credited writer of it. It
Mm,
says here for Luca, he has a story credit.
okay.
This Simon Stevenson fella. But I mean, if his shit was straight up stolen, then fuck Alexander Payne. He should get his,
Mhm.
he should get some racks in return or something.
Absolutely.
Um, but if he's just clout chasing, then fuck him and let Alexander Payne be great,
Yeah. We
which
don't
he
know
has
what happened.
proven over multiple decades that he is great. So we'll see.
Yep.
Maybe this will just start like a domino effect of all these writers coming out. Like someone's like, hey, I actually wrote Election in the '70s, and I know he
Imagine.
read it. Yeah,
Yep.
or fucking Sideways or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of
Um,
people are gonna see this and be like, "Oh, this is my time to do
yeah,
something." A
straight
lot of
up.
true
It's like
stories
with
and
Deshaun Watson. When the one lady comes out against Deshaun,
everyone
all of a
came
sudden
out.
like 30 come out.
Yeah. It usually happens with these things. Like, of course, there's a lot of truth with it, but there's also a lot of
For
people who
sure.
just try and cloud chase,
100%.
which is sad. But yes,
Well, what's the other news that you had for us?
yeah, we don't know why. Like, if this is an attempt to maybe get the holdovers to not get an award for something, but
Hmm.
we don't know. But with this one, multiple studios actually reached out to the Academy because they had a big issue. And that is with the greatest actor of our generation, that is Messi the dog. He was
Oh,
banned from the Oscars.
from attending?
He was banned from attending because he was at the luncheon. And a lot of studios were like, this is an unfair advantage because people just love the dog. But they were like,
Oh, what the
Academy,
fuck?
you can't allow this dog at the premiere. So he's banned.
From going to the show?
Yep.
What the fuck? But the votes are
Mhm.
already in. So what's the point?
They're saying it's an unfair advantage. They're just mad and like a dog outacted some of their own actors. So
Straight up. These
yeah,
people are straight up corny, dude. This is
yeah,
this is the kind of shit we talk about. The fact that the Oscars said, "Oh, okay, I guess you guys are right. We
yeah.
won't do that then." That's fucked up.
It's a dog. I mean, come
It's a
on now.
dog.
It's a
I
dog.
mean, and like we said, that dog has acted leaps and bounds over some of the actors that are going to be in that room tonight.
Yep. And I finally
Old
watched it
Bradley Cooper.
because
I
last
know you did.
time you told me about like the acting performance, I was like, what is the dog doing? But you're like not telling me. And I watched and like
Yeah,
that dog is really talented. So
he deserves it. Yeah. Well, I want to get into your thoughts on Anatomy of a Fall. Perhaps we can do that now during the Oscar ballots while we go through some of these and talk about some of these movies.
we will. I
Um,
haven't watched all of them, so
I have the ballot up here,
mhm,
and let's see here. I think it goes in alphabetical order,
mhm,
is what it looks like here. But let's just kind of go down the list and say who we think will win, who we actually want to win, and then maybe we can talk about one or two of those performances slash films.
sounds good.
Um, but the first award we got here, obviously, is for actor in a support, or I'm sorry, actor in a leading role, where we got Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Coleman Domingo for Rustin, Paul Giamatti, The Holdovers, Killian Murphy, Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright, American Fiction. Did you see Rustin?
I was about to say Rustin is the only one out of these I have not seen. Have you?
I did not see it, and I didn't see American Fiction either yet. I haven't found it available.
It's on over here it's on Amazon Prime, so I got the chance to
Oh,
check
is
it out.
it? Oh,
Yeah,
maybe
it
it
might
is
be
on Amazon Prime
there
here
as
then.
well.
I didn't have time to see it in theaters when it was out, but
It's great.
yeah, who I've heard it's amazing.
Mhm.
Who on here first off do you think will win?
I think it's gonna be Killian Murphy.
I do too. I think so
I
too,
think
and I
it's
think I
gonna
want him to win as well.
you want him to win. I wouldn't be mad. Like he should win as well, but there's another guy that I personally would like to win. And that is
And who's
Paul
that?
Giamatti.
Yeah, I can see that, and a lot of people are saying that he might win, Paul
Mhm.
Giamatti, but I don't know. I would not be upset if he won either, but
Yeah,
I feel
I
like I
think
want
those two.
Killian to win this.
Yeah, those two. I think are pretty much just equal. I think just Giamatti, I liked a little bit more, just
Yeah,
because we haven't seen a role like this from him really, and he just
that's
killed
true.
it. He
I
really killed
agree.
it. So
I think
yeah,
there's
but I
something that's
think
more
Cillian
like
Murphy.
yeah, I think there's something that's more like sensational about the Killian Murphy, that performance that maybe is more blinding. Whereas the Giamatti's a very subdued. I mean, it's not subdued. The character has a lot of layers to it, but I mean, it's not this boisterous. It's not Oppenheimer. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's tough because any other year it probably would be an easy prediction to say that Giamatti wins, but
Mm,
I think Killian Murphy wins. I think we both think he wins, but I think I also want him to win.
mm.
Um,
It's hard
actor in a
if you
support.
make a
It's
film
tough.
the same year as Oppenheimer. I mean, that's just gonna be hard for you, man.
Yeah. Okay. So actor in a supporting role.
Hmm.
This one's interesting. We got Sterling K. Brown, American Fiction. I think you've seen all of these, by the way.
Yep.
Robert De Niro, Killers of the Flower Moon. Robert Downey Jr., Oppenheimer. Ryan Gosling, our fucking boy, Barbie. And Mark
Oh, yeah.
Ruffalo, Poor Things. Who do you think the Oscar is going to award this to?
Well, who I think is also the person I want to win, and that
And
is Robert Downey Jr., which was just
yeah,
that
yeah,
was incredible. That
yeah.
was really
I
one of the best performance. Yeah.
I think I've not seen American Fiction. I
Mhm.
feel like it's fucked up. I haven't seen it. Now I realize it also is kind of racist. The only two movies I haven't seen on here are the two like black leading films on here. But um, I haven't seen Robert Downey Jr. I think will win as well. I
Mhm.
also feel he's the most deserving, even over our guy. But again, you know how we've talked about Barbie on this pod a lot already, and we've shared our thoughts. But I do think Robert Downey Jr. is the best supporting role. But I don't know that he has the best competition. To be
Mhm.
honest, that might be a hot take. I don't know.
Mhm. I mean, we both love Barbie and Ryan Gosling, of course, our boy. We still love him.
Yeah.
And Sterling K. Brown was incredible in American Fiction. He was
Okay.
really incredible, but I mean, RDJ played the shit out of Strauss, and that
He
was
did.
like one of the best performances in recent years. So he really has, like, he's gonna win.
He
I
ate
think
that
that's a
shit.
pretty
Yeah.
safe
I
pick.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree. All right, let's move on to actress in a leading role. I think this one's gonna be a real toss-up. This one could go anywhere.
Yeah,
But we got Annette Bening and Nyad. I have not seen Nyad.
same.
Um, we have Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon. Sandra Hüller, Anatomy of a Fall. How was
Good
that accent? Was that
pronunciation.
good? Okay,
Yep.
good. Carrie Mulligan for Maestro and Emma Stone in Poor Things. Who do you think the Oscar is going to?
See, I haven't seen that yet. I wanted to, but I just haven't had the
Yeah,
chance to watch it yet.
same.
But the other 4, which I can vouch for, they were all incredible. And I could see all of them winning. But if one person doesn't win, I could see a big outrage on the internet.
Yes.
But that's also the person that I would like want to win because she was incredible, and that's Lily Gladstone.
Interesting. Okay.
I think she'll win, even though Emma Stone was amazing, Carrie Mulligan as well. Sandra Hüller was damn, like she absolutely killed it. But I
Yeah.
think Lily Gladstone, just because of what she achieved, and she did kill that role. So I want her
Yeah.
to win. I think the Academy is gonna give it to her because of the outrage. If not, she
I
still
agree.
deserves to win. Do you pick the
I
same
think
person or
no, so. In a perfect world, you already know who I'm picking. I want my girl Sandra to win that. I think she
Mhm.
deserves it. I think she gives one of the best performances in general. You know how much I loved that movie this year.
Yep.
I would love to see her win. I would love nothing more than to see Sandra Hüller win for Anatomy of Fall. I mean, a part of me also thinks, is Lily Gladstone a proper actress in a leading role, or is it a supporting role? Because she's really not in the film very much. Although I get that her presence is always there. But when you talk about screen time, I don't think she even makes 30 minutes of this movie. That's over 3.5 hours. You know what I mean? She's not on
Mhm.
screen very much at all. So a part of me feels I'm like, I don't know that it's right because I don't feel that she's truly properly leading this film as
Mhm.
much as Leo is leading the film, or even I mean De Niro, not really, but Leo's the one really leading it. So I feel like for that reason, I can't pick her, but I could totally see the Oscars giving it to her because it's a more politically correct thing to do, and it's like people would be very upset if she didn't win.
Mhm.
Um, but with that being said, I'm gonna pull out a Uno wild card.
Damn, okay.
I think the Oscars give it to Emma Stone.
I honestly, it could be.
I think
It
they
could
do. I think they give it to Emma Stone.
because poor things like her performance was, and if I think if Lily Gladstone wasn't on here, I think it'd be a safe bet that Emma Stone wins this.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be an interesting one. And what you said, like that is a big criticism that I've seen a lot of people have about Killers of the Flower Moon, is that it focuses too much on Leonardo DiCaprio's character
Oh, one hundred
and
percent.
not enough on the indigenous people and like their story, their part of the story, because a lot of people said that she should have been the lead of the film,
Hmm.
which is an interesting debate,
And
I think.
I think we talked about this after I had seen it.
Mhm,
I mean, I think the movie would have been much better if it was told not even from her point of view, but the point of view from the natives looking at Leo and them. I think
mhm,
the movie is like at a disadvantage because it's from Leo's point of view, to be honest with you.
mhm.
Um, which I know we've discussed and people have said like that wasn't even the initial intention. Like the actual book is not that.
Yep.
But yeah, I do agree. I don't. I think the film would have worked much better, which it's still a great film, but I think it would have been better had it come from the indigenous point of view and gotten some more of Lily Gladstone. But she really is a secondary character. And if the Oscars do give her the award, then all my thoughts on the Oscars will be perfectly solidified. And then there will
Mhm.
be nothing up in the air. There will be no jeopardy moving forward. It will just be whatever the obvious pick is, the Oscars give it to.
Mhm.
But I have the tiniest just inkling of faith in the Oscars. Not that Lily Gladstone's not deserving, but that they will not just go with what's expected of them.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to show it there by giving it to Emma Stone. I think. I think.
Mm.
We'll see,
Def
though. We'll see either way.
I wouldn't be mad at either of those. I wouldn't be mad at any of those, to be completely honest. Like, even if they just gave it to Harry Mulligan or Sandra Hüller, which were amazing, like, I'd still be like, yeah, they deserve it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So
I'm gonna
moving on
turn
to
my
actress.
light on real quick because it's getting really dark.
Yeah. We
Like,
will
barely
move on to actress in a supporting role. We got we got some interesting choices here. We got Emily Blunt, Oppenheimer. We got
Mhm.
Danielle Brooks in The Color Purple, another movie I did not see. Um, America Ferrera in Barbie. Jodie Foster, Naiad, and I don't even know quite how to pronounce her name. Is it Devin Joy
What's the vine?
Randolph? Devin, is it Divine Joy Randolph?
I think the vine, but
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm
that's
not
right.
sure.
Divine Joy Randolph from The Holdovers.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, I think it's going to her. I think Divine Joy Randolph is going to get that Oscar.
Yeah. I hope she wins as well. She's my choice, but also American Ferrera. I liked her part. I know there are people who had problems with her character in Barbie, but I really liked her and her speech. I know a lot of people said it's very surface level in terms of how it talks
It's very
about.
on the nose.
Yeah, a lot of people said that, but didn't have an issue with that, and I loved her role, and
Yeah.
I think her speech was very cool. So I wouldn't be mad if she wins as well. I haven't seen The Color Purple or not yet, like I said,
Hmm.
but honestly, either Divine or America for me.
To me, I almost find America Ferrera to be one of the most bewildering of nominations this year, to be honest. To me,
Mhm,
it felt like the most random addition in there. Because she has that one main moment, but like apart from that, I didn't really find much in that character apart from like that great speech to
mhm.
like cling on to. If anything, like I mean, not the daughter. The daughter had even less, but like I don't know. To me, it just felt random, and maybe I got to give Barbie a proper rewatch again to actually appreciate that nomination. But I remember seeing that and just like kind of cocking my head sideways and being like, "Huh, that's an interesting pick for that."
Mhm.
But if she won, that'd be dope. America Ferrera, Oscar-nominated actress, is already pretty cool that you can say that.
Hell yeah, but what I really liked about it, because during the film, like you thought it's the little girl who, like lost faith, but then it's
Yeah,
revealed that it's the mother and like her issues, and I just thought that was really cool and how she acted
yeah,
with her, like, trying to connect with her daughter and things like that. I just really liked. So
yeah.
I wouldn't
I
mind if
think
she was.
I think I would like to see her win. And Divine Joy Randolph is, I think it's an obvious pick that she'll win because she's been winning and everything. But I also don't think I would be upset if America Ferrera won
Yep.
at all. And I like Jodie Foster. Never saw Naiad, but she's cool. So would like to see her win too.
Yeah. I wish I saw it, but I didn't have like the time to watch it. But I'll definitely watch it soon and then have like a better
Yeah,
perspective. Maybe she wins, and then a lot of people, more people are gonna watch it, and maybe she
yeah,
absolutely kills it. So
that'd be sick.
mhm.
Okay, animated feature film. This I don't know shit apart from one of them. We got The
You've
Boy and
only
the
seen one.
Heron. I've only seen one of these
Mhm.
movies. I've only
Okay.
heard of three of them, and I've only seen one of them. We
Interesting.
got The Boy and the Heron.
Mhm.
We got Elemental. We got Nimona.
Mona?
Uh, we got Robot Dreams, and we got Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I have no idea what Nimona or Robot Dreams even is.
Nimona is on Netflix, and you have to check it out because I didn't watch it as well. But then Michael from our group, it was his favorite film
Yeah.
of 2023. And I met one of the guys, like I talked to one of the guys who like animated for it a little bit.
Oh, really?
And then I watched it and it is incredible. Like it is one of the best animated films I've seen in recent years. It just it shatters your expectations completely in like the first 5 minutes. Like you expected, oh, this is gonna be like one of those, and it's like, nope. And
Interesting.
it's incredible. Like I highly
And
recommend it.
you said that it's on Netflix currently.
Netflix. Yep, it's a Netflix original.
And
It's
are you
really
familiar
good.
with Robot Dreams?
Robot Dreams is the only one out of these I have not seen. I've heard about
Okay.
it. It's based on a comic book, and I want to check it out, but it wasn't available anywhere here, so I haven't yet. So for this one, I cannot really say. But
Okay.
I mean, your pick is clear then if you've only seen one. But having seen it, and I know you,
I don't
I
think
know,
they will win though, to be honest.
do you?
I don't. I do
Okay,
not I don't think they win. And
not
I've only
having
seen
seen them.
I've seen okay, this animation looks very familiar in Nimona.
Mhm.
I've seen photos of this for sure on like the Letterbox
Yeah,
Instagram and shit.
people have
100%.
posted about it because it's
Yeah,
incredible.
okay.
But
Okay.
not having seen any of those except for Spider-Verse, just going from your gut, which one do you think would win?
I could see them giving it to The Boy and the Heron.
Mhm.
That's Miyazaki. Is that who
Yep.
made that?
Mhm. Yep.
He's kind of coming to near to the end of his life. I don't know that he's been awarded anything before. Has he won Oscars in the past? Do we know?
I
Um,
think he was nominated, but I don't think any of these films ever won, to be honest, but I could be wrong.
if he has not won an Oscar,
Mhm.
then yeah, it looks like he's only been. Oh, he won Best Animated Feature for Spirited Away. Okay, so
Good.
he's gotten his Oscar. Then fuck him.
Mhm.
If then I don't. I honestly have no idea. I would guess the Boy and the Heron though because it seems like the most quote unquote adult, I guess,
Mhm.
in that way. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? The most quote unquote mature and I don't know
Yeah.
the
I
most
can see that.
Oscar-y.
I can see that. I wouldn't be mad at any of those. Elemental, a lot of people didn't really like it. It bombed at the box office at first, but then it released in
Yeah,
China, and then it just made
and
a
went
shit ton
crazy.
of money out of nowhere. I liked it. I watched it in the theaters, and yeah, I wouldn't be mad even if Robot Dreams wins. I haven't seen it yet, but it looks amazing and it looks really sweet.
Cool.
But my pick is Across the Spider-Verse. But like any of those, like they're all amazing. I love animated films, and
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Hell yeah. Well, let's move on to cinematography. We got
Mhm.
El Conde, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. I think on this one, who I want is also going to be the one who wins.
Mhm.
I don't know how you cannot give it to Hoyt van Hoytema for Oppenheimer.
Mhm.
Um, I think he's going to get that Oscar finally. I think this is his year. I think he's going to get it.
I hope so. He deserves it. He is
Yeah,
incredible. He's one of the best DPs working in the industry. I mean, he is just
it's amazing.
incredible. Yep.
The fact he's not won yet is bewildering. Poor Things definitely is worthy. Great,
Mhm.
beautiful cinematography. Um, all of these films really. El Conde I did not see. I'm very familiar with the film, but did not end up watching it. Um, but yeah, I think Oppenheimer. You agree? You think it's going to win, and also want him to win?
I think Oppenheimer is definitely gonna win, and I it wouldn't be my first choice, I think. But then again, I can't really put my finger on my first choice because they were all incredible. And I might even give it to Maestro or El Conde. With
Interesting.
El Conde had like that shit was beautiful. She's like just
Yeah,
from a visual standpoint, it was incredible. I like really
yeah.
stylish black and white films, but also Poor Things also had that which looked amazing. But Maestro, I was disappointed with Maestro. I wanted to like it because it's like
Mhm.
it's just something that I knew like, oh, this is gonna be like for me, but then it wasn't. Like
Yeah,
I didn't like it as much,
yeah,
but it was still like cinematography was amazing. So honestly, I could give it to any one of those, and I'd be like, yeah, makes sense.
yeah. I
Kind of crazy though, which I think no one expects that, but low key does deserve it.
damn. Put that on your watch, folks. El Conde, maybe possible sleeper winner for cinematography. I'll have to check that out, regardless. Still,
Yeah,
okay. Costume design. We got Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. Who do you think the Oscars going to, and who do you want it to go to?
I think it's gonna be Killers of the Flower Moon
Interesting. Okay.
because they had like a lot of those great like Native American costumes and a lot of like faithful
Yeah.
to tradition. I think that's sort of like the obvious pick. But Barbie also had like insane costumes. And like even the
Yeah.
marketing where Margot Robbie like showed up to every red carpet premiere, every interview,
In
like
pink.
different like dress, like every single one she had a different insane dress. And a friend of mine actually designed one of the dresses.
Oh,
And
hell yeah.
that's why give it to Barbie. I think I'd give it to Barbie, but Curse of the Flower Moon could win as well. Poor Things also great costumes, but yeah. What about you?
My
What's
gut
your
instinct thinks that they're going to load up Poor Things with some Oscars with awards like costume design. I
Mhm,
think I think Poor Things will win. I think the Oscar will go to them.
mhm,
I think I would like for it to go to Barbie.
mhm.
I think that would be sick, but I think possibly Poor Things is going to get it.
Okay, interesting.
Um, Now here's a good one. Here's one of the major ones. Best directing. We
Mhm.
got Justin Triet, Anatomy of a Fall, Marty Scorsese, Killers of the Flower Moon, Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer, Yorgos Lanthimos, Poor Things, and Jonathan Glazer, The Zone of Interest. Who's that Oscar going to? Who do you think they're giving that little gold guy to?
With this one, it could go. I could see them going with all of them, but my pick would be Jonathan Glazer.
Interesting. Wow. Okay.
See, I watched that in theaters a couple
Yeah.
days ago, and I was blown away by it. It made it like my 2023 top 10 list. I updated it. It's not the same anymore.
Uh,
And there's been two major changes. One, my number one pick, which I'll get to later.
yeah.
But then the Zone of Interest snuck itself in there, man.
Hell yeah.
That shit was insane. And I think it was he directed the hell out of it. And it's
Yeah.
one of like the craziest films I've seen recently in terms of like directing. So I'll give it to him. But this could go anywhere. Do you think as well? Do you think there's like one obvious choice that I'm kind of
I
missing here?
kind of I kind of think, and I will be happy if it happens. I think the Oscars are going to get Christopher Nolan that bag this year. I think Oppenheimer is sweeping almost everything this year. I really do. And I think Nolan's going to get his first Oscar for this film. I think I would be very shocked. I wouldn't be disappointed because all these films are amazing. And I would love Justin Trier to win. I would love for her to win. But I think it's going to Chris Nolan. I think he's finally going to get that Oscar this year. I really do.
if there's one film out of his filmography that he would win for best directing, it's
It
definitely
would
this
be
one.
this.
Yeah,
100% without a doubt
makes
would be
sense.
this.
Yeah,
And I think they know that that's the case too. Um, so yeah, I would not be surprised if Chris Nolan won for directing on this. Um,
wouldn't
Now let's go to, because some of these are a little bit more niche, like the documentaries and the animated shorts, and I don't know that we've seen any of these. We can kind
nope.
of just get to the last like two or three like big ones that we have.
Mhm.
Um, I'm curious to know for original score, um, who do you think? Now you've seen all five of these. I've only seen three of these. For
Mhm.
original score, we have American Fiction. We have Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Killers of the Flower. For those listening, Dino's just shaking his head. Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. For best originals.
Well, I'm not gonna get into Indiana Jones. You know how much I love Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
You know, but I think about this last one, unfortunately, it had a lot going for it, and it definitely had a good score. But I there are two films that I think could definitely win. It's a neck on neck race with those two. It's
Yeah,
Oppenheimer and Killers of the Flower Moon for sure.
I agree. I 100% agree.
And dude, I really can't tell because both of those, I think that would be a close one. Could go either way.
100%. I
Mhm.
100% agree. I'll be happy with either. I think I would like for Killers of the Flower Moon to win. That way they can get a fucking Oscar or two here tonight,
Mhm.
just for Marty to have there.
Yep.
But I agree. It's like a 50-50 split for me on either of those. Poor Things, I don't really even remember the score at all. I'm sure it was super trippy, but I can't actually recall in my head right now anything about it.
Same with
Um,
American Fiction. I watched it, but the score didn't really stand out as much like it did with Oppenheimer and Killers of the Flower Moon.
right.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so let's do, well, Best Picture would be next, but let's skip that one to the end.
Mhm.
Uh, Now this one I really want to bring up. Um, okay, so this one I've only seen one of these movies, but I need to discuss it. I just need to discuss it. Best visual effects is The Creator. Didn't see Godzilla minus one. Didn't see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Didn't see Napoleon. Didn't see, and Mission Impossible: Dead Motherfucking Reckoning
Hell
Part
yeah.
Motherfucking One.
Mhm.
Um, I'm on my Tom Cruise shit right now. I've
Yep.
been going crazy. All I've been watching is if it came out in the 2000s, like once Tom Cruise became action Tom Cruise guy, I've watched everything pretty much in the last 2 weeks, except like Oblivion and Valkyrie are the only
Yep.
two on the watch list. I've seen everything. I fucking love this guy. Mission Impossible better fucking win that shit. Again,
Hell yeah.
didn't see, but they better win. Would not be surprised though if the Oscar goes to Godzilla minus one, which I desperately need to check out. I've heard amazing things. Would not be
Same.
surprised if it went there, but I hope it goes to Tom Cruise and company. Not that he would be the one accepting it, but that I hope that his goddamn film gets that shit. Because Dead Reckoning Part One fucking rules.
Yeah. I think the creator might win actually, just because of like
Interesting.
how insane it was what they pulled off with like such a low budget. In terms of
Yeah.
like if you make a sci-fi film of this scale, the budget is pretty low in comparison.
Yeah.
Give it to Mission Impossible, man. Give it to our boy Tom Cruise
God,
and those VFX artists worked on this shit. I mean, that train sequence is just
they were in their
unbelievable.
goddamn bag. Yeah.
Dude, I'm sad you didn't see it on the big screen, but hopefully
Yeah.
there's a chance. They will really release it when the next one comes out, and you have to check that shit out because it was
I gotta see
next
that
level.
shit in IMAX. IMAX,
Dude,
dog. Yeah.
I was not able to close my mouth during that sequence. That was just so yeah. I
Hell yeah.
hope Mission Impossible wins.
Yeah, I do as well. We got the two screenplay categories. We have adapted screenplay and we have original screenplay,
Mhm.
um, which is interesting the way that it's split up. But let's adapted screenplay. We got American Fiction, we got Barbie, we got Oppenheimer, we got Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. Um, This one's a tough one for me. I really don't know who do you think who do you want to win this one?
I'd give it to American Fiction.
Yeah, that's what I marked of what I think will win. Even though I
Mhm.
haven't seen it, I think they'll win it.
I think that one for sure. I'm not really sure about the other ones. I mean, I could. Oppenheimer could win this one as well, but I think American Fiction is like the the nominee for this one, to be honest.
I agree. I agree. It's like a writer's kind of film too, right? Like so
Yep.
it seems like it seems like an obvious choice to win
Mhm.
it. Um
Absolutely.
yeah, I don't know that there's as much competition on that one. Now, original screenplay, we have Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Maestro, May December, the only nomination they got, which is a fucking
Mhm.
travesty, and
It
Past
is.
Lives for original screenplay. I know you've seen all five of these. I've seen four out of the five.
Mhm.
Um, who do you think is who do you think the Oscar is going to go to for original screenplay?
Well, the holdovers won't because of the news that just came out. I think
Yeah,
that's
that's
pretty
out.
obvious. But I'm gonna give it to Anatomy of a Fall, and I think it's gonna win,
Yeah,
and I think we both
same.
want this one to win.
100%. I agree. I think May December is a close second. I would be ecstatic if May December won.
Mhm.
Um, I think Anatomy of a Fall is going to win, and I think it's because Anatomy of a Fall is not actually going to win any other awards tonight. So I think they're going to give it to them there because it's fucked up. Like I skipped over the international feature film
Mhm.
uh, category because I had only seen two of them. The others I was unfamiliar with,
Mhm.
and Anatomy of a Fall was not even the French nomination, which is insane to me.
It wasn't, and Rope actually, like, he corrected us because we talked about it when he watched Anatomy of a Fall, and then he told us which French film, and what's not actually in on there. Never mind. I think there was
Maybe
this
they
other film that was nominated, but I
It was
guess
like
it's not.
Fallen Leaves or something. I thought was the French. Oh no, that okay. I guess that was the one that France had nominated up, but it didn't make the cut.
It
But the
didn't make
French
it.
choice, because they can only make one, was not Anatomy of
Yeah.
Fall. It was this movie. I
Taste of
think
Things.
Fallen Leaves. I think is what it's called.
The Taste of Things.
Um, the Taste of
Is
Things. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Yes, The Taste of Things. Fallen Leaves is a different film. The Taste of Things. Yes. So anyway, yeah, that's I do think they're gonna get it for original screenplay, and I
Mhm.
would love for them to win. Like you said, I think we both feel that way. Um,
Mhm.
and then one other that I want to mention that I just realized here I kind of skipped over. That's a major one before we get to Best Picture is Best Production Design.
Yep.
I think this is a year with a ton of great production design. I think all of these are great nominees. Um, Napoleon I've not seen, but I from what I've seen visually from the photos, it looks unbelievable production design wise.
Yeah.
Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. I personally think Poor Things is going to get an Oscar here as well. Like I mentioned, the costume design, I bet you makeup and hairstyling, they'll probably win. And I think they'll
Mhm.
probably get production design if I had to guess. I don't think Oppenheimer will because of the whole 13 stars on the flag thing or 50 stars or whatever the hell that whole thing was. I think that
Yeah.
knocks them out of it. I
That
think Poor
was
Things
crazy.
wins this one though.
Mhm. I think Barbie as well. Like, I think Poor Things or Barbie. I could see them giving it to Barbie
Yeah,
because they also had like a great production design, but probably gonna be Poor Things.
yeah, I
Should we
agree. I wouldn't be
also,
mad if Barbie won.
yeah, should we also talk about or like very briefly about both sound and music? Just real quick,
Yes.
which ones we think?
Um, which music one? We did the original score, didn't we?
Yeah, but the original song we didn't,
Oh
which could be
yeah.
an
Oh
interesting
yeah, we
one.
can do this. I don't know any of these fucking songs, I don't think. Well, I know I'm Just Ken. We have What Was I Made For, which I think
Yep.
was Billie Eilish
Yep.
sang that, I think.
Mhm.
We have It Never Went Away from American Symphony, not quite sure what that is.
Same.
We have The Fire Inside from a goddamn Flamin' Hot Cheetos movie. I didn't realize this movie actually was released. I have no idea about this movie about Flamin'
I
Hot
watched it.
Cheetos. I I can't believe that they got a fucking Oscar nomination. That's crazy. And then we have doesn't fucking Ava Longoria, didn't she direct this shit?
She did, yeah. And
That's crazy.
I watched it. It was fun. even though it came out that it's like completely bullshit what happened, like that
Yeah.
is not what happened.
Yeah.
He made it. But I watched it and I don't remember the song at all. So
Okay.
that says a
Okay.
lot about it. But
And then we have Wazaze, a song for my people from Killers of the Flower Moon. Don't know who's performing that technically. Yeah. I,
yeah.
I'm just Ken has to win, right? I mean, for me, I don't know if the Oscars will give it to him. They'll probably give it to Flower Killers of the Flower Moon. I think that
Or
song is gonna get it.
or what I was made for. Like if a Barbie song wins, I think it's what I was made for just because of like what that song is saying. I think I'm just kind of
I
he's gonna
agree.
perform it live tonight. So I think that's gonna be
Yes.
like a fun thing, but I don't think he's gonna win for it. I would love it.
Yeah.
I would love it, but I
I
think those last two
I
make
I
more sense.
agree. I take it back. I think I want I'm just Ken to win.
Yeah.
But I think yeah, you're right. Either of those last two are gonna win.
Mm,
Wazaze or What Was I Made For?
mm.
Um Sound. Best sound. I can't believe we skipped over this one. The Creator, Maestro, Tommy Boy, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1, Oppenheimer, and The Zone of Interest. Now, to me, Oppenheimer and The Zone of Interest are two films that are actual like audi- audible and oral experiences,
Mhm.
like purely. The Zone of Interest, in fact, I don't think Glazer should win for directing because it's almost so anti-cinematic, the movie. But in a way, that's a great nod to how good of a director he is.
Yep.
So, but the film is pure anti-cinema, in my opinion. It is amazing as like an expressionistic art piece. As a film, it is miserable, in my opinion, to sit through. But
Mhm.
sound, that whole movie is sound. The whole thing is sound.
And that's why
I
it was one
marked
of
I
the
marked
craziest.
Oppenheimer,
Mhm.
but I think I'm gonna remark it to the Zone of Interest.
Makes sense. I would Oppenheimer could win as well, but with the zone of interest, like this sound was such a big part of the experience because they were living like their blissful, ignorant, beautiful life.
Yeah.
And in the background, you could just hear like screams, people getting shot.
Babies crying and shit. It was horrible.
It was like during this whole film, you had this constant tension, like this
Yeah,
constant feeling of unease. And that's why I think this should win. Like, I would actually be a little bit upset if this one didn't win because of how
I
important the
agree.
sound is
I
in this
agree.
one.
I think it's tough because it's not up against Oppenheimer, it's up against the Trinity test in Oppenheimer, which
Yeah,
is
which
an
unbelievable.
insane audible experience. It's
Mm,
absurd. Um, in any other year, it's an obvious win for the Zone of Interest. Because of the Trinity test, I think it'll be a toss up between that and Oppenheimer, but I do think the Zone of Interest is more deserving.
mhm,
Either way, I think I'll be happy, but I think the Zone of Interest should get it because that's almost like the film's mission statement is sound,
mm.
you know?
Yep,
So I would like to see that. Now, the best picture
the big one.
of the 2023 movie year, the 2024 Oscars, we got American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest for Best Picture. Who do you think the Oscars first? Who do you think the Oscars are gonna give that statue to, and who do you actually want to win if they're not the same thing?
So, as for who I want to win, it's not actually on this one. It's in
Okay,
the international best film.
Perfect Days.
That is Perfect Days because
Yeah,
it jumped into my number one of 2023. The more I think
hell
about
yeah.
it, the more I love it. So sadly, it's not on here. I hope it wins Best International Feature. It shouldn't have won at all. But as for who I think it's either gonna be. There's three I think that could very well win.
Yeah,
I think not Maestro, Oppenheimer. God,
yeah,
Oppenheimer,
yeah.
Killers of the Flower Moon, and then Anatomy of a Fall.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think I think one of those three. But before I go and say which one I want to win, which one do you think will win? Just to have like more suspense here.
If I had to put money on who I think will win,
Mhm.
I'm gonna put money on Oppenheimer.
Okay,
I
makes sense.
think it's I think this is the Chris Nolan Oppenheimer year. I just believe that. If I'm wrong, and I hope I am, then so be it. But that's what I think. Who
Okay,
I want to win. I mean, I'm sure you can guess who I want to win that thing
yeah,
though.
I'm gonna say yours. And you think you're gonna say which one?
Okay, which one you want to win? I'll say which
Yeah,
one you want to win. You guess which one I want to win.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so
we'll do like a 3, 2, 1
Anatomy of a
guess.
Fall.
We're on one. Oh, okay, never mind. I was gonna say past lives for you.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, yeah,
We
and
both
yes,
know each
Anatomy
other
of a
well.
Fall for me. Yes.
Mhm.
Um, I think if either of those win, it's a huge, huge deal, though. I think it's a huge deal if either of those win. If they can take down the likes of Oppenheimer and Killers of the Flower Moon, I
Mhm.
think that's a huge, huge feat,
If
and would
past
be
lives
amazing for both international films and independent films.
exactly. So I wouldn't be mad at either of those. Like if Anatomy of a Fall or Past Life wins, I'm just gonna be dancing in my room, regardless of
Yeah,
those two. If the other one win, I'm gonna be like, yeah, makes sense.
yeah, makes sense. The
Mhm.
Oscars are what I thought they were. Um, I really hope Anatomy of Fall wins. That'd be fucking amazing.
I would.
But yeah, that's pretty much the whole ballot. I mean, we went through everything except for some of the documentaries,
Mhm.
the
We
animated.
haven't seen.
Oh, we have editing. You want to do the editing uh,
Yeah.
awards? For film editing, there's Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things.
Do you wanna go first?
This one's a tough one for me. I can't lie. To me, The
Yeah.
Holdover seems like a random choice in there.
Mhm.
Killers of the Flower Moon, I can see it because he makes 3.5 hours fairly digestible. You already know I want Anatomy of a Fall to just win every award.
Yeah.
Um, I want Anatomy of a Fall to win, not just because I love the movie, but because especially the sequence where they're listening to the tape and it cuts out and you're back in the editing or you're back in the courtroom is some of the best editing I've seen, both sound editing and picture editing
Yeah.
ever,
Mhm.
or at least of this year. It's Jesus Christ, that rocked me. Um, Again, I think they're gonna give it to Oppenheimer. I really do. I think Oppenheimer's gonna
Same.
win fucking everything. Yeah.
Same.
And honestly, you know what? I would be okay. I would be okay with Oppenheimer getting best editing if the Zone of Interest gets best sound. Because they both kind of win, in my
Mhm.
opinion, in that way. Because I'm like, the Trinity test is a feat for the sound editing, but also the way that it's edited visually to match that. I'm like, I feel like that would be a nice compare, like a nice like give me. So I'm like, they both win if that's the case.
Yeah. But not if Oppenheimer wins both, or like,
I'll be
or you
pissed
both
because
think
the
this is
Zone of
fun.
Interest should have won sound. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's the way for me as well. I think Oppenheimer wins this one, and I think it'd be my choice as well. But Anatomy of a Fall, like that shit, the scene you mentioned is so insane. Like it gave me goosebumps because we hear it, but we don't see it, and it's just like we're
Yeah.
part of this courtroom where we don't know what happened, and that
Yeah.
just makes so much.
They show you just enough. They
Yep.
show you just enough to get you, and then you're back in reality and you don't
Yeah.
see.
At
Um,
the exact right time where you need to like cut away from it.
yes.
It's so good.
Which is just another example also to show how Justine Triet should win Best Director as well. She directed the fucking shit out of that movie, man.
Oh yeah, man.
God damn. All right. Well, that's our 2024 Oscars episode of Literally Me. Um, this was fun. It was fun to do something a little bit different. And no disrespect to the live action or animated short films or documentary shorts. We just don't know where to watch you or what you are, because the Oscars don't promote you in any way or anyone. So don't blame
Mhm.
us and our ignorance. Blame the Oscars and mainstream Hollywood for not giving you guys more credit. But yeah, I don't. Did you see any documentaries that came out this year, 2023? I saw some stupid Netflix ones, but none of these Oscar nominated ones.
I haven't seen a single one. I haven't seen a single of the shorts nominated. And
Yeah, me
for
neither.
like the foreign film, I saw like three of them, and Past Lives is that's the winner of my
Yeah.
heart. Even if all the awards go to, I mean,
Perfect Days,
it's
you mean, right?
Perfect Days. Yeah, I'm sorry, like it was only nominated for one thing, but it's the winner of my heart for last year.
Yeah.
So,
Shout out Vin Vendors.
dude, you still need
Have
to
you
watch
seen
it.
I do. I do. And I know it's a pure Dino movie.
So good.
Um, which for me, I got to be in a perfect mindset to get into because it's the polar opposite of like what I look for in movies myself.
Yeah.
So, but I know I will. I love Vin Vendors, especially The American Friend, which I've talked to you about a lot.
Yep.
He's fucking amazing. Have you seen that Vin Vendors movie that's like 6 hours long, with William Hurt? Um, fuck, what's that movie called? It came out in the 80s, I think, or maybe 90s. It was like after Paris, Texas, I think. Um,
Haven't.
anyway, I don't know why I mentioned it because I thought about it, but and we were talking about long movies, but that was the episode. We're going to be back very soon after. I mean, a little inside baseball here. We're about to go just record it back to back. We're going to be talking about Ryan Gosling's directorial debut, his only directorial effort, Lost River. I'm excited to talk about it with you, and
Same.
I'm excited for the Oscars. We'll have to do a follow up on the next episode following Lost River to recap the Oscars and
Mhm.
our predictions and whatnot, and see what that means for Hollywood and the industry as a whole.
Absolutely. And I hope everyone listening, if you're listening to this before the Oscars, hope you have a great time watching it. If you're listening to it afterwards, I hope you're satisfied with it. And if not, I'm sorry. And if you're not satisfied with our picks, I think, or like the Oscars pick, the Academy's pick, I hope the other films, I mean, they're still the winners of your heart. So don't be mad.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. And honestly, if you're sick of it, support and watch the Independent Spirit Awards instead because it's way fucking better.
Hell yeah.
Uh, but anyway, we'll be back very shortly with a new episode. Thanks for listening.
Bye bye.